Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to go over the viewer responses on my How to Be a Transformer Reviewer YouTube video. Of course it's a YouTube video. Sorry, I just woke up. And I have no other time to do it than right now. So, let's see what we got here. There is a lot of comments, and some long ones, so it's going to be another long video. I might have to start breaking these things up into 2 videos for viewer responses. Alright, Sammy Turner says, I'd say be yourself and be honest with yourself and your reviews. Be able to communicate your thoughts clearly. That's probably one of my biggest problems, is I have a hard time conveying what's in here out. Here. Jeff Perrin says, I know you read rant comments out loud, but you can skip mine. It's long. Maybe just sum up a response after reading. Not trying to be rude. You're one of my favorite reviewers, top 5 because of your honesty. But taking a pause and reviewing reviewers on their content, Evangelist is probably number 1 on my list. Sometimes he does little animations or skits, but most parts he puts the figures out there and voices his concerns or likes about it, as well as any other TF community concerns about said figure. Next, he goes into transformation montage, and this is why I put him on top of the list. Looking at most people's reviews, they are more as walkthroughs. For example, when I got MMC Hexatron, I didn't need the instruction booklet for any of the modes. I opened it to read the comic, so that's mostly from watching so many people play with theirs, with their toys. Another guy that is tied for first place is Bartiozura. Theo Adams. I like Theo. I didn't know that's what his name was. The formula for a good review that I see here is the packaging. And Esris replies, think you should look at mine. LOL. I feel sorry for John, who will probably read it all. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I try to read them all. Yeah, I agree. Evangelist's videos are really artistic, I'd say. I like them. And Theo is just hilarious. The big thing that's keeping those 2 out of my top list is, while Evangelist's videos are really good, his sense of humor is not my sense of humor. Same goes with Imgo half the time. It's like, he's funny, but some of his sense of humor just doesn't quite get me right. And Theo, while his sense of humor gets me, his lack of content is what keeps him out of my top spot. That's one thing I will say. Try and keep a schedule the best you can. I mean, everyone's got their own personal stuff, but like Theo, sometimes you wait a month or 2 in between videos, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, I subscribed to that guy. I forgot about him. So, all right, moving on. Optibotomist says, let's see. His was a really long one. I read it all last night, and it's not coming up as long. Come on. It's not going to let me see the whole thing, is it? Yeah, his was like 4 paragraphs. So I would recommend everyone go take a look and read his comments. He put on some pretty good advice there as well. It shows what he said, but it won't go any further. I know it was longer. And yeah. So So he says, really good advice here, John. A lot of people think it's easy to become the next big thing. And that's one thing I wanted to really, make sure people are aware of. It's not that easy to become the next big thing. Or possible, for some people. The people you typically think of as being top reviewers got into it, including myself, at a perfect time. There were hardly anyone doing it at the time, so we got in at the right time to start something like toy reviews. Everyone now is trying to get into it, have a hard time because it's harder for them to get views. It was much easier to get views back then. Now, though, there is a tremendous amount of competition. The problem I see with people is the instant gratification sort of thing. If they don't get subscribers or views, views really is the most important thing. A subscriber number isn't all that important, honestly. It's ego more than anything. They give up and walk away. Yeah, they do. They don't want to put into it the work required. They want it handed to them instantly. They want to be like me, for example, but they want it now. They don't see it, see that I've been doing it since, and that's where it trails off. Where's my phone? See if I can pull it up here. Good times. Alright. They don't see that I've been doing this since 2007, but only the past few years it's been possible to be my actual job. Treating it as a job isn't necessarily a bad thing. I didn't want it. I think that came out wrong, because you do want to treat it kind of like a job, but at the same time, not like you're a 9 to 5 where you're actually going to work kind of job is what I meant, I guess. And that goes hand in hand with being successful if you want to make this into something more serious. If you don't take it seriously, you won't be treated seriously. That's true. You want to have fun while you're doing it. I've been doing this since 2007, and it's still fun for me. Are there days where I wake up and just don't want to work? Absolutely. Let's see. Kind of skip the rest of that one. Sorry, Optobotomus. You get like 6 paragraphs here, and yeah. Let's see here. So he goes into treating it as a job. Then he goes into breaking things on camera as a good and bad thing. Breaks down to, no pun intended, 2 things. Did you break it because of you're clumsy, or did you break it because because the quality is bad? If you're breaking it because the quality is bad, then that's a good thing. And if you're breaking it because of you're just not, you're not gentle with the figure, and you're a little too rough with it, then it's a bad thing, because that doesn't show viewers anything. And I agree with that statement. I've broken quite a few things, sometimes on purpose, sometimes, but most of the time it's on accident, and it just happens while I'm on video, so it sucks. Let's see here. Standing out, though, as you talked about, is very key. I tell people all the time. This is where he goes into saying, he can show you how to be a reviewer. He can show you how to, do everything exactly like how he can do. The lighting, the cameras, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, if you're just the knockoff Optobotomist, you're not going to become as popular as, say, Skullface, who has, who's nothing like Optibotimus. Know what I mean? You gotta stand out when it really boils down to it. Let's see. It doesn't cost a lot of money to make good videos. I've spent $2,000 on a DSLR, but I've recently changed cameras back to one that shoots at 60 FPS, and it only cost me $200. Kind of pisses me off that I spent so much on the DSLR. So what he goes into here, again, if you want all the details of what he says, just because I don't have time to read all this. Oh, man. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate what he posted here, because this will help a lot of people that are thinking about getting into the genre. But what he's going into here is that, basically, you could start off cheap and work your way into more expensive equipment later on. That's what I said in my video as well. Just, don't spend thousands of dollars on equipment if you're just going to get going. And like I said, let's see, this camera I think was $600, and my lights were like $40 altogether, and the my background, which I notice other people are using now, that I think that costs like $40 or something like that. So I mean, I maybe $700 altogether is what I've spent. And when I first started out, it was a $200 camera, so it was maybe $300 worth of equipment. So let's see, trolls happen. He goes into the trolls, and he starts talking about how some trolls are it's gonna happen. You're gonna get trolls, and you gotta weigh out the good versus the bad, because most of the good are silent. I talk about this at work a lot, actually, because we get scored by the guests who stay at the hotel, and with those guests, a lot of our comments are negative online, and that's because you think of it in this way. When you go through, say, Best Buy, say you went to Best Buy, you bought some stuff. Everything went just fine. And when you're checking out, somebody says, hey, can you fill out a survey? Are you going to fill out the survey? Probably not. It was just another day shopping. Everything went according to plan. But if you go in there and everything goes horribly wrong, everybody that you talk to is completely rude to you, you can't find what you're looking for, and maybe they have no stock on a certain thing, and then somebody says, are you going to fill out a survey? Yeah, you're going to fill out a survey because you're pissed off. So yeah, always remember that. And like I said, and then at the bottom he says, like I said, good video, John. Hope my 2 cents helps out as well. I think it will. And I don't mean to be rushing Optibotimus's comments. It's just, like I said, he's got like 6 paragraphs. And that's not something I'm have the time to read through the whole thing. But I do appreciate what he wrote. And anybody that is looking to get into this review thing, I do say go there to check out what he says, because he's been doing it longer than I have. I know me and Optibotimus had our differences in the past, but at the end of the day, if somebody were to ask me who's an expert at reviewing Transformers on YouTube, he'd probably be the first person I would think of. Some people call him long-winded, which is true, but hell, look at me. I'm talking to the camera for 45 minutes talking about my responses on a video. Sorry, dog wanted to go outside. Alright, where were we? Alright, let's see. Comments. Alright. SRS says, great video, John. I agree with you on everything you said. I just want to add a few things to the list, though. One, don't try to push a product on your viewers. People usually don't like it to be told what to do. Try to review the product as natural as you can. Start your personal and honest opinion on it. State your personal opinion on it. Yes, definitely. You definitely want to do that. Don't cater to anybody. 2, if you don't get paid for reviewing a product, then I wouldn't advertise the company in the reviews. The companies earn enough money on it already and won't make a red cent. And you won't make a red cent by mentioning their name over and over again. They don't care at all about your channel. I'll promise you that. They do, however, love the free advertising. Don't work for them for free. Alright, so with that, I'm going to have to disagree with you to an extent. It depends on what you mean by company. So if you're... So if you're talking about the company that made the toy, I think it's actually important to talk about the company that's made the toy. For example, like, Make Toys Reflector here. He's really, really good. And even more so if you compare him to earlier Make Toys figures. Like their Sea Spray and Power Glide, anybody? You compare this guy to those guys and you're sitting there like, wow, this company has really come along. So that's where I think it's important to talk about this company. Now, if you're talking about like the company of where you purchased said toy, I think that's also important to an extent as well. Maybe not like hammering it home, but for example, I don't get paid from the Chosen Prime, but I'm gonna order for them for as much as I can from now on, because I'm not sitting here saying like they're the best company out there. It's just, for me, they seem to be doing something pretty good where they have that roller stash option where you can buy certain items until you have enough for free shipping. They have free shipping after $150. Most of the time it's same day shipping and priority for free. Whereas like TF Source, when they go to free shipping, it's like FedEx Smart Post or whatever, where it goes super slow and it's like 2 weeks later. It's like when I ordered Chosen Prime, like I just put an order in yesterday morning. I will probably get it on Tuesday next week, just because of the weekend, but probably Tuesday, which is gonna be great. So anyway, so the free and they have points where you can redeem for gift cards. It's like I mention stuff like that because I appreciate what they're doing, and I've had my issues with TF Source. So if you watch all my videos, you see where I had my falling out with TF Source. So anyway, I would definitely say wouldn't put it in every single video. But I'll mention it every now and then and give them a shout out because I think they're doing a good thing. Big Bad Toy Store has a pile of loot. Outside of that, they're doing nothing remarkable. You don't see me saying, "Oh, go to Big Bad Toy Store, pick it up." I go with the Chosen Prime because this and this and this, as a regular consumer, that's what I see. I'm not big enough that I get free figures from them, so I'm not sitting there trying to shill them out. I'm just saying, as a regular consumer, I recommend the Chosen Prime. Anyway, moving on. 3, personally, I would try to do videos on more than just one single topic. You cast more fish if you throw a wider net. Most of the reviewers out there have a mainstream line of figures that they review, but they also do videos on other figures as well. Almost every toy reviewer out there reviews the very same toy. Problem with that is the fact that if you start branching out, you get people that get really upset with you for branching out. Like with me and my Star Wars reviews and Marvel Legends reviews, people are getting upset with me on that. But anyway, Jeff Perrin says, very nicely constructed paragraph, way better than mine. I just blurted out what was in my head at the moment. As for your number 2, I'd mention a toy company like MMC, Hasbro, or Make Toys, but not websites to buy like BBTS, TF Source, or Robot Kingdom, unless they were paying you to drive traffic on their online stores. Think that's what you mean, correct? Just like the Spaceballs text scroll right at the end. If you're reading this, John, from now on, I'll type shorter comments. No, you don't have to. Just, look at what Optopotamus wrote. Oh, man, that's paragraphs. And again, I appreciate it. I do. I just... surprising to have Optopotamus comment on my video again, and also to be so long. And it's like... and I just woke up, too, so... Alright. SRX replies to Jeff Perrin, yeah, if you're not getting paid, why advertise for them for free? Like I said, when I do it, it's really me pointing out what I like about the toy company, or the company that sells the toys. Not necessarily me trying to get you to buy it. It's just, as a regular consumer, it's one of those things. I have an opinion on it, and I'm going to state my opinion. It has nothing to do with them, making money for me, or whatnot. But it's like, I recommend them because that's where I buy from, and it's not because they pay me to say that. I'm just throwing out my own opinion. Alright, 6 Thoughts Changer Review says, I like this comment, totally agree with you, subbed. And then SRX says, thanks dude, I've subbed to you as well. BVZXA3, I do like you in Skullface. I like Piog and Bolt Matrix as well. Optimus is just too winded. His videos are long, like a Legends class figure. 20 minutes for a Legend class is entirely too long. I've spent 20 minutes on Legend class figures, to be perfectly honest. Or like these, the Cyberjets, and they're essentially Legends figure. I've spent 20 minutes on these, I think. I have some reviews, but it was because I was happy and I scored the figure. I'm just glad I have a channel, LOL. Mine's Stover Hall. If you enjoy John and Bobby, I recommend checking out Brave's Toys Review. Yes. Definitely check out Brave. Optopotamus says, I don't think I ever done a 20-minute long Legend class review. Could you point me to one that I did that's that long? And then BV replies to him, I may have exaggerated. I won't say you're doing anything wrong, but the consensus is it can go a little long. I'm one of the nicer ones. Others say far worse. No matter what we think, just continue to do you. Optopotamus replies, well, I am well aware that my videos are very long. I'm long-winded. Haha. It comes across in my videos. If you ever met me in person and talked toys with me, I'd be the exact same way. Everyone always tells me that. I think I am too. Yeah. Although there's this guy at work. Oh, he doesn't shut up. Anyway, moving on. TFYU Smokey 102. YouTube can get you a C-dub combiner. It's a blessing. That is hilarious that you say that. Because I actually just got my paycheck from YouTube yesterday, and it was just enough to buy the G2 Superion. So it literally did. It bought me a C-dub combiner. Oh, Jazz Prime 75 says time to watch the video now. Okay. 6 Thought Changer Reviews says good video, John. Some key points right there. Thomas Stanko says, John, you and Bobby are the two people who made me feel like it was possible to actually make reviews. I've always loved Transformers, and when I got a job that made it possible for me to afford Masterpiece, I knew I wanted to review. It's so great getting to be honest and to show people our genuine excitement or anger towards a figure. I know in the community it's pretty commonly looked down upon, but I really enjoy some of the KO products too. Most people don't review them, so I really wanted to give them a shot as well as MP. Great video, man. As far as KOs go, I mean, I'm always willing to give them a shot, and I'm never one of those people that sit there and be like, oh man, I KO'd this thing again. I mean, it's gonna happen, so why fight it? I mean, that's all I can do. I mean, I don't own any, with the exception of KO MP Ratbat right now. But yeah, there's no, can't fight it, so we gotta go with it. Where my little screen moved, so now I lost where I was. Okay, TFYE Smokey, Rant of the Week was how I found you. Yes, yay. I love my rants of the week. Rat Trap 25 says, awesome mate video. I just tried to do a vlog, a rant like yours. Oh, didn't mind, bub. No, do whatever you need to do. I mean, I don't care. I'm sure I'm not the first person to do these rants. On a regular basis, maybe. Jazz Prime 74 says, Piog fell off the boat. His reviews have turned unenergetic and boring. Imgo is the only one who had that same charm. Nick Sandwich Games says, agreed on all your tips you listed. For a while I got into the gaming channel thing, and it went well for a while. I loved it. People liked it, and I found my thing that stood out. But my free time decreased as time went on, and I stopped. I don't enjoy it at much, and I couldn't fit it in anymore. But I agree 100%. Do it because you like it, and don't stress out about it. Make it work the way you want it to, and people will like it. One of the top reasons I like watching your reviews is because your taste in figures is pretty on par with mine. So if you don't like something, more chances are that if you don't like it, I won't either. And you tell how it is. If a figure is crap, you don't sugarcoat it or lie. You say it's crap. And I respect that a lot. Same for Skullface, Evangelist, and Theo. Theo is just hilarious and I love him. Yes, he's pretty funny. 763 Rockman says, hey, Gray Rant on suggestions on how to do a TF's reviews. Say I regard to people copying your background. Here's a suggestion. Hit up Skullface, and if he can do commission drawing for you. For a background you can use. No. I actually had him commission something else for me. And I'm not going to talk about it just yet because it's going to be a big project. But anyway, not sure what you charge, but it's worth checking into. It would be personalized, something different, and it would be really cool. No one would be able to copy you. Also, I have a question. I missed seeing your Repair Bays episode. I had asked a while back about fixing ball joints on Transformers and what is better methods, super glue versus nail polish versus floor polish. I know you're busy with work and life. I would love to see you do something on a Repair Bay episode. Thanks and keep up the great job, my friend. Okay, so the Repair Bays, I'm really slacking on. I'm not gonna lie. I have a Cyberjet that is in dire need of ball joint repair, and I've been planning on doing that, but so many other things come up first. So Eventually we'll do it. I'll do the nail polish and super glue. I've never worked with floor polish, and I can never find the right floor polish. So as far as that goes, I mean, it's not a technique I use, so I'm not going to show how to do it, because even though I know I can look it up and find it and show it off, it's not something that I personally use. So I'm not going to show how to use something I don't know. I don't know the long-term effects on them. I don't know all these things, so I'm not going to do that. But anyway, yeah, I have planned on doing the ball joint super glue fix for them. TFYU Smokey 102. The reviewer you're talking about is TJ Omega. P.S. I saw a comment you made on that video. Yes. Yeah, because he was saying TJ Omega. I used to watch his videos all the time. I don't know what happened to him. But he said in one of his videos that, one of the big things to do is not break toys, and so I was like, really? So we hit swoop with a meat cleaver. Oh, that was hilarious. I mean, that swoop exploded. I mean, there are pieces of it everywhere. It was great. If you watch some of my early videos, I did that a lot. If the figure was crap, it just Knight/Cheater got cut in half and lit on fire. It was pretty destructive. Let's see. I think Universe Sunstorm got hit with a hatchet. Anyway, Kevin Horn. Reviewers are like all these companies putting out different Transformers. We have options. If you don't like what one person does, try to go to the next. I like John's and Skullface blunt opinions, and I enjoy MGo's comedy. It just all comes down to preferences. It does. Joseph Flanagan says, John, what do you think about a giveaway for MP Star Saber? That's definitely a possibility. I do want to take a look at it, but it's not something I want to buy. And I know our next giveaway is going to be Unique Toys Provider. That's what Kevin Horn chose for our next giveaway. By the way, if you're out there, Carl A., I still have your Sun Surge. I can't ship it until you tell me where you're at. Captain Needle. Oh, wait. Mindset Overhaul? Mindset Overhaul. Ah, okay. Padme just sat there rubbing her belly. Okay. Ha. What were you thinking, John? Get off your lazy arse, Padme. Yes! My point was all those people that were saying that I'm a feminist or anti-feminist because I enjoyed watching a female in action role. My point was, it's like, what would you prefer, guys? This or that? Because she was barely in the third movie, and she wasn't that big of a character in the first two. It's just like almost unnecessary for the first movie. You could have put anybody in that role, and it would have been just the same. You know what I mean? It could have been an old lady rather than a young girl. It could have been a guy as the, prince of whatever city that was. Anyway, let's see. TFYU Smokey 102. Have you ever given a pity subscription to a reviewer you feel sorry for? No. Captain Nito. Great video. What do you think of my idea to remake one of the deleted scenes from an 86 movie in stop motion? The where Devastator gets taken down by Magnus and some of the Autobot cars. I think they should remake the whole war in Autobot City, because they didn't have the rest of the combiners. Superion wasn't there. Defensor wasn't there. Bruticus wasn't there. Minosaur wasn't there. You know, it's like those guys should have been there for that battle. I would have loved to see, you know, I mean, hell, I mean, they're Combaticons. That's what they do. We should have had them in there. I think somebody should remake the whole thing. But yeah, that scene itself too, yes. Let's see here. 7TGM23 says, another point is to get figures in a timely manner. We all want to see figures that just come out and we are thinking of getting. Also to do comparisons to figures we might display it with from the same line or scale. And to have a clean trim nails. I know mine get out of the way, or get out of control every now and then, but I saw a picture of the dude with from Toy World, I think, with the Devastator. Oh my God, dude's got claws. Claws, not just fingernails. I mean, he's got claws. Like Sabretooth from X-Men Origins claws. Yeah. Ugly Wretch says, I made a few reviews, but it's all fun. I don't have ads switched on. A reviewer that you may have missed is Theo. He's just having fun with it too. TFYU Smokey 102. Also, why do you regret showing your face? Just because my work life is more corporate. So it's like I kind of don't want to have my face and name out there. And that's what I was talking about. It's just, you know, they do searches on their employees, and it's like that's my business life. This is my personal life. I want them to be separate. That's it. I mean, I don't want them messing with my stuff here. Just like I wouldn't want you guys to start calling my boss. You know, it's just, you know, personal and professional life. I want separate. And it's getting a little difficult here and there. Fight for your life, Andrew. 1. Stop reviewing Star Wars. Stop reviewing Star Wars. Best plan for Transformer reviewer. Well, yeah, I was actually debating to stop doing that, but because you wrote that, I probably won't. Yeah, I'm a Transformer reviewer, but at the same time, I have an opinion on other things too. So, and it's my show, and I'm gonna do whatever I damn well please. Seeing Funny John says, interesting, and the eyes, those eyes on the shirt. In my new shirt. Darth Vader. TFYE Smokey 102. Something I want out of new reviews is to stay original. There's been too many rip-offs I've seen, and it makes me cringe because it's so obvious that they're trying to make it work for them, but it's so awful. There needs to be a bit more diversity in opinion. I know there are other opinions, but from what I've seen, everyone seems to give all Hasbro toys a pass, and it seems like they're delusional, or the standards are low and becoming annoying. P.S. I haven't commented in a month or so, so I'm making up for lost time. I don't think you noticed, but I did. Haha. I think I noticed. Yeah. Seeing Funny John says, I was flawless. He also says, well, I'm glad my spoiler review is only watched and not hated on. And he says, Galvatron would be able to change you. Let's see. Jazz Prime 74 says, all Transformer reviews unite. Sub to me and I'll sub to you. If you participate in my channel, moving on. I don't have time. Basically, what he's saying is that he wants me to subscribe to him so he can subscribe to me. And then everyone's like, SRX is like, hey, you know, I don't get what you're trying to do here. Anyway, I let them fight. Whatever two commenters start getting into it together, I just let them fight. I think it's funny. Every now and then I'll chime in and be like, hey, let's calm down. Or at least save it for the channel. Seeing Funny John says, sorry, I'll add context to the comments starting now. I say no. Keep going where you're going. He also says, dang, phone abuse. And when climbing YouTube, period, it is rough. At least I have a decent increase. But it's like height. Somewhere being awesome being tall, but there's always someone bigger. Always. So yeah. There you go. I think that was a pretty good one. You know, I always like when everybody's chimes in. So, whew, a little getting long though. So yeah, there you go. There is the viewer response for that, and I will have another Rant of the Week up tomorrow.